Dear students, wish you a very good day. Now we are going to start the second part of the last lesson. We reached to that point of the story where Franz reached school. He occupied his seat without being scolded by Mr. Hamel. While he was thinking all about an order from Berlin, French language, his own disinterestedness in learning, Mr. Hamel and all the villagers, in the meantime his name was called. Mr. Hamel wanted him to tell the rules of participle which he was not able to say a single word about. With his heart beating, he was not able to look up. Just contrary to his expectation again, he was not scolded by Mr. Hamel. Instead, Mr. Hamel tried to explain a cause behind it, a cause why Franz was not able to recite the rules of participle. Dear students, I want to draw your attention on what Mr. Hamel said to Franz. This is applied to you all also. Almost all of us think we have plenty of time and we put off our learning for the next day. As a result, the days pass and we reach to that point of time when we have to appear for our exams with no more time left for preparation. This happened with LCC also. The people of LCC pretended to be Frenchmen, but they could neither speak nor write their own language. He assured Franz that only he was not responsible for all that. He held everybody, including himself, responsible for this reason. According to him, their parents were equally responsible because they were interested that their children should work in farms or at mills and make money for them. Being an honest person, Mr. Hamel is also not escaping from the responsibility. He is reproaching himself also. He says, instead of teaching students, he used to send them to water his flowers, and when he wanted to go for fishing, he used to give them holidays. Thus you see, everyone was responsible for the wastage of time. From this paragraph, we all should take a lesson that we will not waste our time, otherwise the time of the last lesson will come and everybody will find himself regretting. After telling the importance of time, he proceeded further to talk of the French language. While talking about French language, his patriotic feeling is revealed. He considers his language the most beautiful, the clearest, and the most logical. He urges everyone to protect this language from vanishing. From this description, you should not understand that only French language has all these qualities. Indeed, whatever our mother tongue is, it is very important and lovable for us because we are able to express ourselves very lucidly, intimately, and very fluently in it. We don't find ourselves as comfortable in any other language as we find in our own mother tongue. That is why we should always safeguard our mother tongue and try to gain efficiency in it. Telling the importance of mother tongue, Mr. Hamel further told that it is our mother tongue that helps us a lot at the time of slavery. As long as they had their language, they had the key to their prison. By expressing ourselves in our mother tongue, we can carve a path to our independence. When he started to teach the language, Franz was amazed to see that he was able to understand that very well. The reason was that earlier he had never listened to it so attentively, and Mr. Hamel was also teaching with a great patience as if he wanted to give everything he knew at one stroke. This happened with the villagers also. They were also showing their attachment towards their language. Suppose if they had been that much serious from the very beginning, how much efficiency they would have gained in their language. So, students, what are you thinking about this description? Is there any teaching hidden for you also? Yes. Being the student of class 12, you must be very serious about your studies from the very beginning. You should go through every topic in such a way as if it is the last lesson, as if the very next day you have to appear for your exams. The proper equation between a student and a teacher encourages the students to learn better. After grammar, they had lesson in writing. The way the copies were prepared by Mr. Hamel was giving patriotic vibes. Copies were looking like little flags floating everywhere with Alsace and Lorraine written on them. There was complete silence in the room and everybody was busy in his work. Means everybody was taking deep interest in the classroom. Everybody was occupied with his work. No doubt, there was the sound of beetles flying in, but nobody cared. On the roof, pigeons were cooing. The most important line of this paragraph. You may underline it. I thought to myself, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? Students, this is the very important line. This is the most important line, often asked for explanation in the examination. That's why I will advise you to underline it in the book. Now I am going to explain this line. This line needs a detailed explanation. Listen carefully. As all of them were in the mood of utter depression because from the very next day they were going to be deprived of their own language and German was going to be imposed on them. Though the story is located in a particular village of Alsace district of France, which has passed into Prussian hands, it has a universal appeal. It highlights the efforts of the victors to crush their victims. The vanquished means those who are overpowered in all possible manners, materially, mentally, and emotionally. Taking away mother tongue from the people is the hardest punishment inflicted upon the victims. In this regard, students, you have to keep two terms in your mind. One is linguistic chauvinism and another is cultural hegemony. Linguistic chauvinism means aggressive and unreasonable belief that your language is better than that of others. Hegemony means dominance of one social group over others. Linguistic enthusiasts can be easily identified by their extreme zeal for the spread of their language. In their enthusiasm, love, and support for their language, they tend to forget that other languages too have their own merits, long history of art, culture, and literature behind them. Instead of bringing unity, this excessive pride in one's own language creates ill will and disintegration. You can understand this fact by the current example of India. In the southern states of India, nobody is ready to accept Hindi as a national language because of the fear of being dominated by Hindi enthusiasts. Again, I am coming back to that line which I was explaining. When France thinks, will they make them sing in German? Even the peasants, you see, hope is arising in his heart against the torturous behavior of the victors. He means to say, as cooing is the natural language of peasants, no one can impose any other language on them. In the same way, mother tongue is the natural language of a native person. howsoever one can try, foreign language cannot be imposed on anyone for long. Means victors would not be successful in their ill will. We have come too far in explaining the concept of linguistic chauvinism and cultural hegemony. Where did we leave the reference? Where the writing session was going on. While writing, when Franz looked up, he found Mr. Hamel very serious. His gaze was fixed on every object there, as if he wanted to fix them in his mind. He had been there for 40 years, but only a little change occurred. Desks and benches have become smooth. The walnut trees in the garden were taller. Hop vine twined about the windows to the roof. Mr. Hamel's heart was broken when he listened the sound of his sister moving about in the room above, packing their trunks because they had to leave the country the next day. After writing, the history period was started. Everyone was looking sad. The old hussar started to chant French alphabets. His voice trembled with emotion. He was funny too to hear. They all wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. Franz remembered the last lesson very well. At once, church clock struck 12. It was time of singing prayer to Jesus and Mother Mary. Prussian soldiers returned from drill. Time was over. Mr. Hamel was looking pale, but when he stood from the chair, he was looking very tall. He wanted to say something, but because of strong emotion, his voice was choked. Then he expressed his emotion on the blackboard. He wrote, Vive la France, means long live France. Then he made a gesture to all, school is dismissed, you may go. Now I think you must have understood why the chapter of your syllabus is the last lesson. The first chapter of your syllabus is the last lesson. What it is making you to understand and why it has been prescribed in your syllabus. Thank you.